Good evening. Welcome to Career Assistance Program every Tuesdays now from 8 to 9 in the evening. So we've changed to daylight savings time and will be at a later date here in the Philippines. So for tonight, we'll return to our feature, the Skills to Succeed Academy Near Hire program given to you by Accenture in partnership with Deadline and Education. So tonight's guest is Lyra Dakanay. She's a trainer with Accenture Philippines, and she'll be giving us, of course, the details about the Skills to Succeed Academy. So, Miss Lyra Dakanay, can you just break
Of
down?
course. Good evening, all the listeners, our audience, for this session, and of course, good evening, Attorney Kazar, and thank you so much for inviting me here to speak about S2S, the S2S program, which has been a material that has helped me a lot as a trainer when I was still working with EduLinks.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us in the evening again, the Career Assistance Program. Here's Attorney Amian April Azar, PhD, your host for tonight. So we'll be delving deep into the Skills to Succeed Academy for tonight, near high training program. But Miss Lyra, please just tell us first and foremost, what were your interests as a young person? How and when did you decide about your field of study?
All right. Thank you so much for that question, by the way, Attorney Alcazar. And to tell you a funny story, it's actually a funny story on how I was able to decide to be a trainer or to, yeah, be a trainer and do it as a career, Although I've only been working for 4 years almost, but you know what, let me tell you the story. So when I was in college, I remember the pressure because I was one of the batches that didn't really get to experience senior high. So there weren't a lot of preparations that happened. Although I had an idea of what was coming in college and in the workforce, I was not, we were not able to get as much experience as how senior students have right now. And when I entered college, I wasn't able to decide by myself on what course I was going to take. It was my dad who actually decided for me. So I
Yes,
studied in
that. What course was that?
accountancy. I
Yeah.
studied my first year in PUP was I studied accountancy. I only lasted for a year, although I was able to pass the exams. I enjoyed the company of my classmates and the professors, but it wasn't me who decided on that, and that simple fact really took a toll on my experience, on my entire experience in college. I had to really, I was already in my second year when I had to decide if I really wanted to continue with that course that my dad and my aunt actually decided for me.
Yes.
Because, yeah, but I did make a choice because I realized that I was not happy with the course that I took, accountancy. Not because it wasn't a generally enjoying course, but because I was just not, I was not into the courses, the subjects. I was able to get through my first year because mainly because of my classmates and my kind professors. But I really didn't see myself, being an accountant in the future. I just thought that my interests, my hobbies, and my passion did not align or does not align at all with that course. So I
So when did
made
you decide to shift your career or your course?
yeah, after my first year, I talked to my dad, and it was a really dramatic
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, we cried to each other, and but at the end of that day, after the crying session, he finally gave me the permission to switch, my course. So then I decided that I wanted to, I've always loved English. That's
Yeah.
my thing. It was my
Uh-huh.
passion. Language has always been my passion. Humanities has always been my passion. Even when I was in high school,
Yes.
English has always been my favorite subject, and
Uh-huh.
teaching, even teaching, is something that for me, even at that time, I've already realized that teaching is something that's natural to me. If that makes sense, that I didn't really have to think about that. When I was teaching, I was enjoying it. Even until now, I still enjoy teaching. It's something that I don't, it's I don't. I can't say that it's a talent, but I think a better term for that would be a calling. You
Yes.
know, it's something that I didn't really have to think about like too much.
Yes.
Yeah. So in my
So
second year, I decided to take that course, education.
yes. So what skills, competencies, and experiential learnings do you think young people should have to be in your field of education?
Education. Well, if you are thinking, or if you're trying to consider education, you need to
Yes.
consider um, not only the subjects, because you will get through all of that by the help of the professors, but you need to consider um, how you see yourself after college, because there are a lot of teachers, or there are a lot of people who took education in college but did not really pursue education as a career. So
Uh-huh.
if you think about, if you're considering education or training, really take your time, because there are a lot of, like all other courses or like all other careers, there are definitely pros and cons in being a teacher, especially in our country. So really try and imagine yourself, like in the future. Do you see yourself really teaching in front of a class? Is that something that you would, even if you don't like it right now, is that something that you have the guts to do, or to learn how to do?
Okay, so can you describe for us your career trajectory as a trainer, how you eventually ended up with this work that you have currently?
All right, so the history, right? So, like all other fresh graduates, when I first my first job after I graduated from with a degree on education, major in English, I worked at with I worked in a couple of BPO companies. I was a call center agent for a few a few months, up to a year. Let's say, let's put it like that. And although I quite enjoyed, it really helped in what do you call this? It really helped in making me who I am today. If that makes sense, especially when it comes to communication skills, because as a call center agent, you really have to speak in English, like for the entire shift, and that of
Yes.
course helped me, be well equipped in terms of the communication part of it all. But I realized that I went through all of that in college, the crying session with my dad and everything, the shifting from one course to another. So I decided to resign, or to definitely resign from that job as an agent, and I tried my luck as a trainer with EduLinks, and fortunately they were able to see my potential. Yeah, I can say that for sure. And I was able to work with them for 3 years, and up until now, I'm still taking projects from EduLinks, just because they were really the ones who helped me flourish more. And right now, I am a trainer I'm a global products trainer for another BPO company. I'm not an agent anymore, thankfully. And uh, and I think at this point in my life, even though I'm still young, I think although I'm still at the beginning steps. Let's see it. I'm seeing it as a ladder. My trajectory. I'm still at the beginning steps, few steps away from the ground. Yeah, if that explains it. But I am very glad that, although I can only see a bit of what's at the top of the ladder, I'm able to picture what's ahead. of me because right now I'm currently in the career or in the path that I really want to stay in for
Okay, that's
my entire life.
okay. So why don't you tell us about the features of the Skills to Succeed Academy near hire program, specifically for how young people can be advantaged if they take this particular course?
All right. So yes, S2S Academy or Skills to Succeed Academy, as the name already pronounces, helps. Uh, it helps people. It helps more specifically job seekers.
Yes.
But even if you're still in college, S2S will be able to help you with its courses and its modules about when it comes to honing or calibrating your employability skills. So, what are employability skills? We have here like the skills in creating an effective resume, in acing your interview, how to prepare for an interview, how to do your research before you go to an interview, how to search for the career or the job that really fits your interests, your motivations, your style, and everything that really factors in um, in making a decision when it comes to your career. And the best thing about S2S is that it caters to all levels of the workforce. When I say all levels, um, we have courses there. We have modules that would cater to people who maybe just graduated and are looking for ways to start their career, or they need advice on what's the first thing to do after you graduate. There are definitely modules that would help them with that decision, with the decision making process. I'm sorry, and
Okay.
not only that, it could also help people who are already in the job that they want, or people who are switching careers, right? We also have pieces of advice and modules there to cater for those people, and even people who are already steady in the career that they chose, and they're already in the job that they want to have for the rest of their life. We can also find helpful tips and modules there.
Okay. Yeah, so why don't you invite our young people to join us in the Skills to Succeed Academy, brought to you by the Education Channel in partnership with Evelyn's Corporation and Accenture, and encourage the young people as to your advice to them to motivate them to prepare for their roles in the future in their workplace environment.
All right. Of course. So I encourage everybody, even if you think that you already know what career you want to take in the future, I still encourage you to take the modules there, or to at least look and skim through all the modules there, because there might be something that you still don't know, or there might be a topic that you missed when you were making that decision. And S2S is a platform, or it is a program that has everything, regardless of what industry you want to enter. When you're after you graduate, everything is there to prepare you for employment.
So, can you just tell us as a parting word, what skill made you succeed in your career?
Okay. Definitely, the skill that made me succeed is going to be my dedication to my passion. That I think that is a skill that we normally overlook. We think that if all the opportunity we have to take in all the opportunity that comes, but we need to realize that there is only one. Although there are multiple careers out there, you need to think about what you really enjoy, because that career you're going to be in that position for the rest of your life. So make sure to really take the time to decide on it, or to think about what you want to do and how you want to achieve that in the future.
Okay. Well, that was Miss Lyra Dakanay. Thank you so much for your valuable time and sharing with us. You'll be joining us, I believe, in the webinars that will be brought to you by the Education Channel every Saturday this month of October 16, 23 and 30. So please register through our Google link here at the Education channel. You can please like, subscribe, and follow us in all our social media platforms at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And there will be the Google link where you can register for our webinars for the afternoon and morning sessions as well. So we look forward to being joined by Ms. Lyra Gaspar, the team from EduLink in our Skills to Succeed Near High School program for our students and graduates working with the Education channel. So we'll be right back with Career Assistance Program here at the Education channel. Thank you.
Unit of the HEI concern, it will cover, of course, around 2,000 HEIs, including 111 state universities and colleges and 123 local universities and colleges. There is going to be a rolling start of the academic year from September, October through November of 2021. Now, the coverage of the academic programs actually started in February 2021 already for medical and allied medical courses. So these included, of course, medicine, nursing, medical technology, medical laboratory science, physical therapy, midwifery, and public health. Now, this September 2021, new circular memorandum order was issued to cover engineering, tourism, hospitality management, marine engineering, and marine transportation. Now, the activities that are going to be in the limited conduct of face-to-face classes are for the specialized laboratory courses and the hospital-based clinical clerkship or internship practicum, including rotations of postgraduate medical interns. So let's all be informed with respect to the fast figures: 21,000 students in 181 universities and colleges with 1,000 faculty members are covered by the limited face-to-face classes. And so far, they have had COVID infection rates of only 1% for students and 1.4% for teachers, with no hospitalizations and no deaths since all were asymptomatic. So let's all be informed of these important guidelines before we move on to the feature of our Career Assistance Program. Now let's return to the coverage of the Skills to Succeed Academy that we've been discussing in partnership with Edulinks Corporation and Accenture. Now, the first coverage, of course, will be respect to the employability skills development. And this will, of course, have the learning objectives for the 6 modules, what the career is and what it can mean to you, how to think about career decisions, and how to set and reach your career goals. So they have a total of 6 modules, including the first one, Lila's Dilemma, determining your interest and aptitude for 50 minutes, followed by Career Pursuit, importance of a career choice for 25 minutes. Then the third is Why Do You Want to Be Blank? Influences on a career choice for 40 minutes. To be followed by the fourth module, What Makes You Tick? Motivations for a Career Choice for 40 minutes. Find Your Future, anticipating future jobs for 35 minutes, and get some experience on how to create an action plan to find your career of choice for 30 minutes. Now, getting a job is the main part of the program with 20 modules, and our learning objectives are how to identify your top skills and apply for the right job, how to write a curriculum vitae and resume and fill out an application form, and successful interview techniques. So let's move to the first 10 modules. Into the Wild, learning interview skills for 30 minutes. Your train in journey, so job prospecting for 15 minutes. Who can help you, including career counseling for 20 minutes. Jenny and Sam, analyzing your career choices, are featured for 20 minutes. Identify your skill, determining your skill sets for 25 minutes. Creating your resume, that is writing your resume or curriculum vitae for 40 minutes exercise. Work your network or developing your network for 40 minutes. Do your research for research skills training for 40 minutes. To apply and not to apply, so analyzing job advertisements for 25 minutes. And finally, test drive the CAR technique, interview techniques for 40 minutes. Now, let's move on to the next 10 modules. From the 11th, you have the selection process or the recruitment processes discussed for 25 minutes, followed by the call out of the blue or your phone interview skills being developed for 40 minutes. Tailor your resume or customize your resume depending on the company that you will be applying to for 30 minutes. Now, when you have the application form, how do you do the accomplishing for the application form for 30 minutes? A better cover story is writing your cover letter for 30 minutes. Then now you start preparing for your interview, preparations for 35 minutes. SAM and Futuro systems, so interview techniques for 40 minutes. Ace your interview, succeed in the interview for 30 minutes. And then if you have a panel interview, then the Pearly Bank panel for the panel interview techniques. And finally, online professional presence, definitely very relevant for technology-aided techniques for 40 minutes. Now let's move on to the third part of the program, which is Success in Work, covering 10 modules. So the learning objective is how to prepare for work and how to work alongside your colleagues, and finally, how to stay motivated in work. So these 10 modules cover the following. So you have the night before, preparing for your first day at work for 35 minutes, getting on track. So 3 secrets to making the working life succeed for 25 minutes. Ready, steady, prep, job offer for 35 minutes, followed by welcome to Dizzy Heights, challenges of a new job for 35 minutes. Getting to know you, finding your feet rather. So first steps at work for 45 minutes, followed by getting to know you, teamwork techniques for 30 minutes. Knowing your job or doing your job well for 40 minutes is the 7th module, followed by the 8th module, so having the right attitude by achieving results for 30 minutes. Of course, you have life at Dizzy Heights, so your workplace environment discussed for 35 minutes. To round it out would be your using your skills to succeed for new skills training, 30 minutes. Now, if you move forward to the next part, of course, we know that now is a digital economy. So while you're preparing for success in the digital economy, you have your new skills now which need to be developed. First would be the lifelong learning consisting of 7 modules with the following learning objectives. You have embracing challenges and adapting the change, finding greater confidence in your abilities and developing your skills to stay relevant. So the first module is intro to the growth mindset. So developing your mindset for 20 minutes, growth mindset and the brain. So brain elasticity for 15 minutes, intro to the learning quotient. So learning quotient for 20 minutes, importance of lifelong learning. So for 20 minutes, how to master mistakes, tips for dealing with mistakes for 20 minutes, 4 steps to a growth mindset, so 4-step strategy for 20 minutes, and a growth mindset in daily life with yes, you can for 15 minutes. Now, for the emotional intelligence covering 6 modules, you have the following learning objectives: managing and monitoring your own responses, staying grounded and calm, and finally improving your communications. Now, for this 6 module, you begin with emotional self-regulation by mastering the techniques for 15 minutes, self-regulation scenarios in everyday situation for 15 minutes, grounding exercises or quick exercises for 10 minutes, knowing your audience by gathering information for 15 minutes, achieve active listening for communication skill set for 15 minutes, and finally managing conflict for dispute resolution covered by in 20 minutes. Now, for solving problems, you have the following learning objectives, of course: identifying a challenge or issue, successful problem solving techniques, and tackling complex problems. Then the modules are welcoming the problem by understanding the problem for 5 minutes, handling problem better with a 4-step approach for 20 minutes, solving complex problems with the techniques for 20 minutes, pros and cons of possible solutions for 20 minutes, good, better, best, alternative solutions for 15 minutes, creating a hypothesis with hypothesis making for 5 minutes, verifying assumptions by analyzing them for 10 minutes, and finally evaluating and measuring the effectiveness of a solution for 15 minutes. Now, it's also there's an additional tips from experts covering being professional, standing out from the competition, and using life experiences. So with that coverage in partnership with Edelinks Corporation and Accenture for Skills to Succeed training program for the near hire, we at the educational channel would like to invite everyone. So please follow and subscribe to our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And you can accomplish the Google form needed so that you can join any of our webinars. So we still have slots available in the morning and afternoon on October 16, 23, and 30. So we invite all to come and join us here at the Education Channel for our Skills to Succeed Academy Near Hire training program. So this has been Attorney Amihan April M. Alcazar, and it has been a most productive hour in our Career Assistance Program. So till next Tuesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. here at our show, Career Assistance Program. This has been Attorney Amihan April M. Alcazar, your host, and I'll see you again next week. Stay safe, everyone, and good evening. Thank you.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being